Hello, my name is Ken Vellante. I'm your OEA representative. Work for the San Diego Council, and of course, work closely with your leadership with the LBL ESDEA since I've been working here in the Santiam office for about 4 years. We're trying to do a couple videos here to introduce and explain a bit more the important issues in bargaining. One including economics, the other is more pertinent for further explanation is the flex time language and benefit that was arrived at that has been a source of contention for almost a year now. But we have a tentative agreement, as you know. The bargaining team has sent to you at least 2 to 3 updates, further explanations of the flex time benefit, as well as a copy of all tentative agreements that have been reached. That would have been in a packet via email. Some of that is a little messy. We understand as that's how bargaining goes. It is being cleaned up. The content of those should be relatively straightforward. If there's any questions about other components of the contract, you'll be receiving this video via my email, so feel free to contact me. Let's start with economics, and then we'll move to the flex time. Regarding economics, it's a modest settlement as far as your bargaining team is concerned. Last contract we received and worked hard for increases above 3% for each year of the contract. Those are great improvements, and we're due to a lot of hard work from your bargaining team and input that you gave to us. This time around, more difficult on the money, and of course more difficult overall. Here's the hard facts. 1.55% on year one. There'll be a one-time payment of $500, which essentially serves as a retro payment for this year. I'm going to look down and look specifically at the provisions. The insurance cap increase only $10 for year one. We tried for higher. We believe that's a depressed amount. We expected to see more within that. But given pooling on insurance dollars, we hope that can make up for some of that amount. If you take advantage of the cell phone stipend, that'll increase $10 per month, effective May 1st, 2018. There'll be a $100 increase to the HSA, if that is the plan and a benefit of which you receive. So that's a good increase there. Also, regarding year two, is a 2% COLA, $30 per month cap increase to the insurance, and $150 a year increase to the HSA. Again, if that's a benefit that you enjoy. Again, the economics were difficult this time around, but overall, given the 4-year trajectory of over 3% year 2 years back, 3%, over 3%, a 1.5% approximately, and a 2%, we believe we've done a decent job on wages over the last 4 years within the contract. That said, it isn't entirely satisfactory. It's a very okay type of economic settlement that we just felt better about given our advances last bargain. So now to the flex time. Flex time was an extremely difficult issue working with your employer. It is an issue that your bargaining team felt had been wrapped up in the arbitration, which was a couple years ago in the summer, whereby we had a clarification around commute and travel time, which was to our benefit. And also the arbitrator found that the employer was in violation of the contract language at that time. And the arbitrator said that the ESD certainly violated the contract by asking an additional half hour of employees once per week. he had found that that was in violation. Given that the word occasional, you're supposed to occasionally volunteer a half hour, was still the language in the contract that remained a sore spot between the parties and one of contention. That said, that language has changed. And here are the changes regarding flex time. First of all, the two sections are distinct now. And by two sections, I mean adjusted schedule is one section, and flex time is another section. What adjusted schedule is, and this used to include flex time, but it's different now. The adjusted schedule allows you as a worker to adjust your schedule within a week for a standard 40-hour week. If you put more hours earlier in the week, to work with your supervisor to maybe have a shorter day on Friday, shorter day on Thursday. This is essentially adjusting the hours of your schedule. That's essentially what that section is. You can read that in the documents that you have under adjusted schedule. Adjusted schedule, of course, interacts with the flex time contractual provision, which is now a separate section. Here's how it works now. As a result of the new language in which we have an agreement with your employer. Your bargaining team added an additional reason for being able to access flex time, which is consultation with district agents. You'll see that as a new section, a new line item as far as reasons for flex. Take a close look at that section under Article 6 regarding the reasons you can accrue flex time, because it's going to be very important with the new language. The new language of flex time, of course, has the hour amount at issue during some of the buildup around this bargaining. And it is 42 hours with an explanation. The flex time reasons that are listed in the contract can be done at any time during your contract day. So if you have, for example, under these reasons, an IEP meeting, or you're doing direct instruction, or your supervisor requests certain activities, or you're doing an in-service presentation, there's a whole list of these type of flex time activities. Keep track of those flex time activities, because in the past, you would only be able to get credit for those at the end of a workday. And sometimes only if you put in an extra half hour. That language is completely eliminated, meaning that if you do work that accrues flex time in those categories, keep track of it, because it doesn't matter when you perform that work. You can use that time for flex time after 42 hours. And that's an abnormal week. It's not an abnormal week for you because you work a lot of hours. But the normal week is taken up in an adjusted schedule. And flex time, it's those activities, any of those activities, at any point during the day, those listed activities can now count towards flex time. And that is the big change, and that is the big piece of which your bargaining team was able to successfully negotiate, which could mean a lot more work that is captured under the flex time provision than had historically been the case. Your bargaining team also improved the carryover. In the past, the carryover for flex time was that you essentially had to use it within the pay period. No matter when you had accrued it, you had to use it within the pay period, and you had the ability to carry over 8 hours, a max of 8 hours, with agreement of your supervisor. That's been changed. Now you can carry over that time in an unlimited fashion for up to 10 weeks. So it is a significant improvement regarding the carryover of flex time that you've accrued. You can accrue it for a longer amount of time, and you can accrue more of it as well. The word occasional has been also removed from the contract, basically eliminating further contention over the meaning of occasional and how often occasional is. In addition, with regards to adjusting your schedule and flex time, we've eliminated the clause that you'll have to put in 30 minutes before or after the workday prior to accessing flex time. That has been removed as well. So in sum, we were just at loggerheads with your employer around the 42 hours issue. And what we've been able to do is agree to that amount, but capture many dozens, many hundreds or more hours of your work performed during the day that qualifies for flex time. We've also improved the contract to carry over an amount of flex time beyond what had been the case before, and in addition to the other improvements we've made in other contract sections, and the salary agreement that I spoke about. In sum, that is the nature of the agreement. We will have this video going out to you. We do hope it is helpful. It'll be placed on LBL ESD EA's YouTube channel, which we'll figure out how to use for timely updates, maybe in this manner. Feel free to give some comments of whether this is useful. We're trying to get as much information to you as possible. If you're not able to make the information meeting tonight, it is Monday, April 30th. Want to thank you for your time. Again, hope this is helpful. We believe as a bargaining team there's a lot more work to be done regarding the relationship with your employer, and also to avoid some problems that we think were just eminently avoidable after we had the arbitration decisions. We weren't able to avoid those issues. Hopefully we've clarified them now, and not only clarified them, improved an important benefit for you and your fellow workers. Thank you.